Here on CBS Sports HQ, we got a big game coming up on Thursday night in the NFC West with the 49ers visiting the Rams in a battle of 3-1 teams. But the big question mark is whether Brock Purdy is going to play. So Purdy has been dealing with a toe injury and reported some soreness in his foot after playing in last week's loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, let's welcome in our lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones, for more on this. So, JJ, what is the latest from San Francisco, and do you expect Purdy to play out there on Thursday night in a very pivotal game, considering how competitive this division has been up until this point?
Very pivotal, very consequential, no question about it. Talking about two teams vying for that NFC West division title. As it stands right now, I'd be surprised if we saw Brock Purdy play on Thursday night. Maybe if this were a Sunday game, but we know Brock Purdy dealt with turf toe. He came back, I'm told he was fully healthy, ready to go for that Jags game, but he re-aggravated it on a tackle against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so that's why right now they are considering him questionable to play. It's always a tough turnaround, even if you don't re-aggravate any sort of injury, to play on Thursday. But right now, I believe the Niners believe they're going to have to go with Mac Jones against the LA Rams. Obviously, he went 2-0. We see right there. Played well enough, right? Got them the win against the Saints and then against the Cardinals. Big win against the Cardinals in that division. But a tough one to go up against an LA Rams team that is still one of the best in the NFL. And to whom is Mac Jones going to be throwing the football is a huge question. We're talking about Ricky Pearsall. Don't know if he's going to go. Don't know if Juwan Jennings is going to go. Again, short week. It doesn't seem likely as it stands right now. So the Niners could very well be shorthanded in a big early season contest.
All right. And as you mentioned, JJ, if it's not Brock Purdy, it's going to be Mac Jones who gets the nod there at quarterback. We saw the numbers. They're not bad in this small sample size that we've seen him with the Niners so far. 2-0, as mentioned. So how comfortable do you think they really are facing this kind of opponent from Mac Jones based off of what they've seen so far this season from him?
Well, if they're uncomfortable, they got to get comfortable because that's just the way it's going to be, right? I mean, that's life in the NFL. I do think that they are comfortable, right? I mean, this is still the guy that Kyle Shanahan really, really liked, dating back to the pre-draft process. He gets him in the fold there. He gets 2 wins. It's all about winning the football game. They did that in weeks 2 and week 3 with him, but also they had Ricky Pearsall. They had Bosa on the other side of the football. They're going to be obviously missing Bosa, probably missing Ricky Pearsall, probably missing Juwan Jennings, and so you're going to need some guys to step up. You're always going to ride Christian McCaffrey, and the entire game plan and formula is to get him 120 yards from scrimmage by either run or by receiving. But who else can step up? Is it going to be Jake Tunges? Because we know George Kittle with the hamstring remains on injured reserve. Luke Farrell made a play this past week. You continue going through it. Kendrick Bourne probably has to step up this upcoming week so we can finally see it. They have a connection, Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones do from their time together in New England. So that's what the Niners are going to need from Mac Jones. Obviously, don't turn the football over, but it's not just about Mac. It's about the supporting cast around him. In the sort of lack of star players outside of Christian McCaffrey, the role players are going to have to step up on Thursday night.
Man, it just feels like the Niners cannot get away from the injury bug. That was certainly the issue last season, and now we're seeing it yet again just 4 weeks into the season. That game against the Rams is Thursday night, but JJ, want to move on to another team that has some quarterback issues, I guess, to say the least. It's kind of been a struggle for the Browns with Joe Flacco there in that offense. They're going up to London across the pond to play the Vikings this week. So what is the latest there with the Browns and their quarterback situation as it stands?
So we heard from Kevin Stefanski this week, who would not say that Joe Flacco is QB1 for this upcoming week. And usually, Jacqueline, that on the quarterback change seismometer typically means that a change is coming, all right? And so we have a Joe Flacco who he has not been able to recapture the magic from a couple of years ago. When he was with the Browns. He struggled with the Colts, and we have seen him struggle so far this season. When you look at his passer rating, it's the worst in the NFL among all qualified passers at 60.3. The league average right now is above 90. You know, Cam Ward for the 0-4 Titans has a higher passer rating than Joe Flacco so far this season with just 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns have won a game. I don't think anyone is chalking that win up to Joe Flacco in the nail-biting win over the Green Bay Packers in Cleveland. And so if the Browns do make a move, and we are all braced for that potential to take place either today or tomorrow. If it does happen, it would certainly happen before Wednesday, before their first practice of the week. Then you have to look for Dillon Gabriel to take over as the starter. He has been QB2. The Browns have been very vocal, open and honest, straightforward. Dillon Gabriel is the backup. They said that early on so that there was no confusion about where Shedeur Sanders, if Joe Flacco struggles, could it be Shedeur time? No. If Joe Flacco struggles, as he has, it would then be Dillon Gabriel time. But the next follow-up natural question, Jacqueline, that I know you have, that I'm going to answer for you because I do your job for you in this segment, does that mean that Shedeur Sanders is the backup? He's been the emergency third quarterback through the first 4 weeks. That part is unclear. So don't know if Flacco goes to backup and Shedeur Sanders stays as the emergency third quarterback, who would not see the field unless there's injuries to both quarterbacks. Or do you take Flacco all the way to the back of the line and bring Shedeur up? That would be the next question. But it seems like there's a lot of vibes right now that it very well could be Dillon Gabriel this week for the Browns.
You know what, JJ, if there's anybody that I trust to do my job, especially as it pertains to this ever-evolving quarterback situation in Cleveland, it is certainly the one and only Jonathan Jones. JJ, we appreciate it. A lot of moving parts here with quarterbacks, whether it be in San Francisco or with Cleveland, but we got you covered here on CBS Sports HQ. News, highlights, scores, quarterback changes. It is all here. Make sure you stay locked into HQ all football season long.